Deep in the countryside, an old farmhouse stood. It was a place of rustic charm, surrounded by vast fields and a sky that often turned dark and foreboding. This farmhouse was home to many field mice. They were small, quick, and always on the move, finding comfort in their numbers. They scurried through the old wooden beams, played in the shadows, and built their nests in the darkest corners they could find. But despite their playful nature, they always lived in fear. Every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of the leaves outside sent shivers down their tiny spines. Their fear had sharp claws and a long, twitching tail. It was a presence that loomed over them, day and night. This fearsome presence was none other than Whiskers, the farmhouse cat. Whiskers was not just any cat. He was a master of stealth and patience. Whiskers was a patient hunter. He would find the darkest corners to hide in, waiting silently for the perfect moment to strike. He would wait for hours, silent and still, his eyes never leaving his prey. The mice knew that any moment could be their last. Then, with a flash of fur and a swift movement, he would pounce. His attacks were quick and deadly, leaving the mice in constant terror. The mice knew they had to do something. They couldn't continue living in such fear, always looking over their shoulders. They couldn't live like this forever. It was time to come up with a plan, a way to outsmart Whiskers and reclaim their peace. Whiskers was a cunning creature. He knew every nook and cranny of the farmhouse. No crumb was safe, no sleeping mouse secure. One day he caught Pip, one of the youngest mice. The other mice watched in horror. Pip didn't stand a chance. Whiskers was too quick, too strong. That night the mice held a meeting. They had to find a way to stop Whiskers.
We have to do something. We can't keep living in fear like this. Whiskers will catch us all if we don't act soon.
The mice huddled together, whispering in fear. They knew they had to come up with a plan, but no one had any ideas. Then a young mouse named Timmy spoke up, his voice trembling but determined.
I have a plan. It's risky, but it might just work.
Timmy scurried to the top of a cheese wheel, his tail twitching with excitement. He had everyone's attention now.
We need to know when Whiskers is coming. If we can hear him before he gets close, we can hide in time. So we need to put a bell on him. That way we'll always know where he is.
The mice gasped. What a brilliant idea. Could this be the solution they had been desperately searching for? The mice all agreed. They had been living in fear for too long, always on edge, always watching for the shadow of Whiskers, the fearsome cat. It was time to take action, to find a way to protect themselves. A bell would warn them when Whiskers was near. The idea was simple yet brilliant. With the bell around Whiskers' neck, they would hear him coming from a distance and have enough time to escape. They could run and hide, safe from his claws. The thought of finally being able to live without constant fear filled them with hope and excitement. But then a problem arose. The room fell silent as the gravity of the situation dawned on them.
Who will bell the cat? The question hung in the air, heavy and daunting.
The mice looked at each other. No one spoke. The silence was deafening as they realized the enormity of the task. Who would be brave enough to sneak up on Whiskers, the fearsome cat? Timmy sighed. He knew the plan was good, but it required someone with immense courage. His plan, though clever, was useless without someone brave enough to act on it. The bell sat there, a symbol of their hope and their fear. A good idea, they learned, was nothing without action. The mice felt a mix of frustration and determination. They knew they had to find a way, but the question remained, who would take the risk?